chapter 33. Remember, Isaiah is about 700 or so BC. And he's talking about the northern 10 tribes region that is basically going to get wiped out. Now, why are they going to get wiped out? Because they keep refusing all of the prophets that God sends them. So the mighty Assyrian army is amassing. Here they come. Sennacherib is the guy's name, and he's breathing out threats. And by and large, the northern 10 tribes region, what do? They say, well, it's sure going to be a tough situation. I know what we'll do. Let's go down to Egypt and see what kind of wisdom they might have. Remember chapter 30, it's been a couple weeks, but remember Isaiah 30? My people, I don't get it. They ask for wisdom, but not of me. And because they do so, they keep adding sin upon sin upon sin. This is what Isaiah is going to continue to prophesy. Chapter 33, a judgment on any nation seeking to harm God's people or to ruin God's land. The near fulfillment, of course, are these Assyrians. And throughout the book of Isaiah, they've been heading towards Jerusalem. What's the far fulfillment? Most Bible prophecy has a near fulfillment, a bit of a dress rehearsal. What's the far fulfillment of the Assyrians? It's led by one of the titles of the Antichrist. Do you know one of his titles in the Old Testament? The Assyrian. So the far fulfillment is going to be, of course, the Antichrist and his forces. And God is going to judge people who take advantage of the weak. There are times when you would swear that God's not watching. You know, it's a true and sort of understandable bit of emotional thinking. God, aren't you watching? And here's the resounding response from the Lord. Oh, I'm watching. I'm watching it all. Chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to you who plunder, though you have not been plundered, speaking of the Assyrians, and also any humans who are taking advantage of the less advantaged. And you who deal treacherously, though you have not dealt, they have not dealt treacherously with you. When you cease plundering, you will be plundered. And when you make an end of dealing treacherously, they will deal treacherously with you. Here the plunderer, of course, is Sennacherib, the king of Assyria. Who do you suppose the avenger is? It's going to be God himself. I'm going to plunder anyone who plunders my people. It's a powerful principle. Let God do the avenging. Let me say that again. It's a powerful principle. Does God promise here that anybody who's messing with his kids, he's going to take it up with them? Do you see that here? It's true of Israel for sure and God's people, but I believe it's true of people even today. Well, what do you mean? Remember when Saul was in the New Testament, the book of Acts, Saul is breathing threats against the Christians, and God meets Saul, Jesus meets Saul on his road to Antioch. And then the glory of the Lord shows up, and then here's what Jesus says to who's going to be the Apostle Paul. He says, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Well, I'm persecuting you, Lord. I'm kind of running after these Christians. If you mess with one of mine, you're messing with me. It's true in the New Testament version. I believe it's true here in the Old Testament. And I believe it's an overarching principle above all things. If someone is messing with you, and let's assume you're not doing something sort of like being a jerk yourself. Let's assume you're trying to walk and live for the Lord. When someone is treating you poorly, likely because they themselves were inspired from the enemy himself. They don't know that, but they are. And they're the ones that say just the perfect series of words that do the greatest damage, have their fullest effect, a spiritual punch to the solar plexus. There's something in us all that says, well, I'm going to get you back. Watch here. When you make an end of dealing treacherously, they will deal treacherously with you, not the people, God. It's a powerful principle. Let God do the avenging. Why? Well, first of all, do we know all the facts? No, he does. He knows all the facts, not me. Don't forget Genesis chapter 31. There's Jacob, and he's leaving his boss, his employer, Laban. And he takes Laban's 2 daughters, Rachel and Leah, and all the grandkids. You got 11 grandkids with 1 on the way. Benjamin has not been born yet to Rachel. And they take off and they head out. And then Laban is pretty upset. It seems not so much because his daughters and grandkids are leaving, but do you remember what he was really bugged about? He was bugged that somebody stole my idols. So he catches up with Jacob there, and he says, Jacob, it's within my power to do you great harm. Where's my idols? And there's Jacob, dude, I did not take your stupid idols. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Well, I know I didn't take it, but I'll tell you what you do. Search throughout all of my camp and see if you can find your lousy idols. So there's Laban. He goes to everybody's camp, and then remember he gets